quite the different background now. No longer on the beach. I'm here in Bali, specifically in Ubud, and I'm joined by many other people in a remote co-working group, which is called Find Your Pack, which you'll be seeing a lot of as I continue this journey in Bali for the next course of the 4 weeks. On today's video, I want to talk about something a little bit uncomfortable for most people. Something that has probably come across a lot of guys' minds, and unfortunately, a lot of guys have gone through with it. We're talking about cheating. We're talking about the temptation of another woman while you're in a relationship. On this episode, what I hope to do is dissect why this is happening for you and what you can do about it when you feel these temptations. And it's gonna get deep, so stick around to the end.
So let me redeem myself tonight. 'Cause I just need one more shot at second chances. Oh, is it too late now to say sorry? 'Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Oh, is it too late now to say sorry? Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say sorry now?
So where do I stand on the topic of cheating? Well, obviously, I think it's wrong. I think it's really one of the worst things that you could do to your partner in a relationship. And I'd say the core reason why someone might be tempted to cheat or even cheat in itself is because they're unhappy in the relationship. And that could be a number of things. But let's just say that whatever the reason is, that reason is bothering you to the point where you feel it's okay to cheat, to have a wandering eye and go through with it. And here's the thing, a temptation, listen, it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty for the temptation. It's what you do with that temptation that really counts. If you have a temptation, you have to understand and learn how to be able to control it. One of the best ways I would say to control it is once you feel that temptation, you immediately put yourself in the shoes of your partner. Right away you think, what if my partner is having these temptations? Okay, maybe she's having them, but what if she actually went through with it? How would you feel? So this is kind of like golden rule stuff, right? Treat others how you want to be treated. But I don't think we really take the time to sit there and really empathize with what someone might be feeling if you do something. Now, of course, you might say, well, what if she doesn't find out? Well, now we're just talking about you being kind of evil, so to speak. You know, it's like you're really trying to plan this out. But still, it doesn't matter if she finds out or not, because at the end of the day, you're doing something that is completely wrong. I mean, what if your partner is going to cheat on you and you never found out? You know, it's just like, how much would that hurt? And so when you think and empathize with this pain, what you do is you take that and you let that be the deciding factor of whether or not you're actually going to go through with it. So the temptation is there. You think about it. Think about your partner and how she would feel. And then the next step here is actually really big. If you feel the temptation once and you don't feel it for a very long time, I would say, okay, it happened. No big deal. You didn't act on it. And maybe it was a fluke. But if you see it consistently happening, time after time again, and you consistently think about being with another woman, well, now I'm going to give you some hard advice, meaning the really difficult thing to do is you need to sit there and you need to think about why you're having the temptation. And that answer is going to be different for every single person. Like I said earlier, the reason why you have the temptation is because there's something wrong in the relationship. So I ask you to bring an awareness to yourself of what is going on in the relationship and why you feel tempted to cheat. Of course, again, you feel tempted because something is wrong. What is it? Really dive in, and there's an answer there. And for different relationships, there's going to be different answers. Maybe she's become more of a friend or a partner than someone you're actually in love with and in a relationship with. So what is it? What is it? And now we're going to move on to the next step, which gets even more difficult. And you might think to yourself, Tripp, why do I have to go through all this hard stuff? Why are you making me do this? Well, I'll tell you why. Calm down, dogs. Everyone's very excited to hear about this. You're doing this because that temptation you feel to be with another woman, I'm going to guess that doesn't feel good. And if you really think about it, it's quite a painful temptation to have because you know yourself that something is going on that's wrong. I know deep down inside you don't want to actually cheat on your girlfriend. No one really wants to, but they give in to a part of themselves that is weak. And they use that weakness as sometimes an excuse to go ahead and just act on their primal desires. But I'm asking you to be strong here for all the reasons mentioned here. Of course, one of them being that we want to treat others how we want to be treated. But we want to get rid of this pain. It's an incongruency. When we have a temptation to be with someone else, when you're in a partnership, that you've cold monogamous, that you've said to the person that you don't want to see anyone else, or maybe you're married. You know, we don't, at the end of the day, you don't want to do it. So that's some reasoning I hope to convince you. Okay, so what's the next step? The next step is the hard step. This one really wants to know what's going on. Why did the chicken cross the road? To hear the end of this video. The next step, which most people probably won't do because it's really hard, but it's the right thing to do, is to sit down with your partner. Now, I don't think that you have to say that you've been tempted to cheat or you've been looking at other girls. If you want to say that, that's fine. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. But what's really necessary is to sit down with your partner and confront what's going on. Maybe you guys need to break up. Maybe the relationship is over. We need to go through with it. Maybe there's things to be worked on, things to be discussed that you've been holding down deep down inside of yourself. Whatever those things are, it's time to communicate with the person that you're with. And then you guys can either flourish in the relationship to reduce the temptations, to grow the relationship so that those don't occur anymore. Or you need to end the relationship to move on and be with someone new because you know that it's not working out with this one. I don't know how many people are going to see this video. I've noticed a pattern in my YouTube channel that a lot of the relationship videos don't do as well. Probably because most guys who are looking up advice or trying to get into the relationship. But if you're still here, I give you a lot of credibility, especially if you are not in the relationship and you're learning how to deal with temptations if they may come up in the future. But I really wanted to make this video because I think it's important, because I think that you might enter this space as you enter a relationship, and hopefully we can prevent or either solve the problem right now. So there's some generic stuff for you in here, some things that you can use. I can go more into detail. If you guys like the relationship stuff, press like and let me know down below that you want to hear more relationship advice, because I have a lot for you and I have a lot to talk about, I have a lot to discuss. I'm going to put those videos up anyways, but I want to hear from you if you want more, so I know to focus on those, because I always want to give you what you're looking for. The temptation to quit is greatest right before you're about to succeed. And I want you to think about that. And I know you're probably thinking, what just happened? Did Tripp just lose all the hair on above his neck? Yeah, so a day has passed since I filmed the last part, and I got myself all cleaned up because you guys keep giving me crap for it. So here's the thing. I like that saying. I like that line, but it's also not so true. The moment right before you're about to quit, that temptation is not right before you're about to succeed. Life will just kick you in the dirt sometimes. So sometimes right before you're about to quit and you keep on going, things get even harder. But I think the point of that cliche is that you need to keep going in order to see the success that you want. And it's stopping that's inevitably not going to get you there. And so how does this relate specifically to your dating life? Well, I know the guys that I've seen right in the comments, a lot of them have given up. A lot of them say this is too hard. And you yourself might be thinking after the 100th rejection that there's no point. But then I ask you this, honestly, let's just think about this logically. If you're gonna give up, what are you gonna do? Like, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do with your life? What else are you gonna spend time doing? I'll tell you what you're gonna spend time doing. You spend time being upset. Yeah, some people go to an extreme version and just swear off women altogether. I don't think that's going to help you. I think that's going to crush you even more and create an even bigger separation between the sexes. So I just don't see any other option for you but to keep on going. And if you're like, well, Tripp, great, I'm going to keep on going, but I'm just going to keep on failing. Well, then that's why you have to do the things that you need to do to get success, which is watch more videos, take in more information, change things, go out and try new things, try out new forms of conversation, try new ways of meeting women. Whatever you're doing now, just pull a 180. And I don't mean 180 and completely stopping, but a 180 and trying something new. So here's what I'm going to do for you. If you are one of these guys who is having a really hard time, write it down below, and then I'll give you an idea in the comments of what you can do that 180 to start changing things. I know this was a little bit more of a rant episode, but I wanted to give you this because this was on my mind and something that I think you really need to know. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration. And if it does, and you're in that kind of rut and this has inspired you, then write in the comments below, Tripp, I'm inspired. And hopefully I get to see a lot of these. More than anything, a lot of guys just have the wrong information. So if you don't have my program Hooked at getherhooked.com, I'll put a link also in the description below. Maybe that's the thing that's going to help you. So check out my program, get that program. So many guys have seen so many amazing results with their dating lives and with women from getting that program. So check that out. Maybe that will help you. And at the very least, let's continue this journey because I'm still putting out videos every single day. So hit that subscribe button right now so you see all of the updates. Talk to you tomorrow.